So apparently, Helldivers, or Sony, has backed down. So we did it. We did it for now, at least, as far as I know. Purple here has more. Purple here is joining me, Calidor. You know him from the last video. He is joining me, and he has more info on said news. So take it away.
So, I am not entirely, I am of the camp that I'm not sure we've entirely done it. Sony came out with a tweet. Let me go ahead and pull up the exact tweet here. I know it's linked in the Discord. But they came out with a tweet essentially saying that we see you. Hold on, let me actually get the exact tweet up. Because I want to read it word for word and explain why I have issues with it. Lobbies? Whatever. So, the exact tweet was...
It says, Helldiver fans, we've heard your feedback on Helldivers 2 account linking update. This is from Sony, by the way.
Yep.
The May 6th update, which would have required Steam and PlayStation Network account linking for new players for the current players beginning May 30th, will not be moving forward. We're still learning what is best for PC players, and your feedback has been invaluable. Thanks again for your continued support of Helldivers 2, and we'll keep you updated on future plans.
So that last two sentences, you could throw this up on screen in the editing if you want.
Yeah,
but
plenty.
that last two sentences, what are your thoughts on that?
They're gonna find a different way to get what they want without
without
sacrificing the player base. Because if they had gone through with it, Helldivers would have died.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Helldivers would have literally just died. So I'm not entirely convinced that this is the big win that we think it is. I think it is Sony having put it out on a Friday afternoon,
Putting a pin in it.
because that's no. So whenever you put news out on a Friday afternoon, that's when you're trying to hide something. That's where news goes to die. As somebody who has to keep up with economics for my other job, whenever you put something out on a Friday or Friday afternoon, that's when you're expecting no one to read it and the news to die. So you put out really bad stuff or really important stuff that you don't want people to really focus on a Friday afternoon. That's exactly what they did. They were hoping that it would blow over, nobody would notice, there wouldn't be a big blowback, and that they could just do this. Now, as we saw, within 48 hours, that was not the case. And so now they've had to quote unquote backtrack with the linking, but I don't think that I don't think they're going to stick with it. I think that they're going to try to find some weaselly way to continue to do something in order to get either a linking or moderation or something from this. I do not think that we're out of the woods yet. Another big issue, so everyone left, well, not everyone, but most people left negative reviews, and most people are changing reviews back. I am still of the camp of leaving my negative review there because of not only this taking place in the first place, but how the community managers for Arrowhead handled the situation was an absolute nightmare. It's a PR disaster, and the fact that they're still at the company is mind-boggling to me.
What did they say exactly?
Exactly. You're asking me questions without having things properly pulled up. I know one of them in their Discord, Purple Squiggles or something like that, was accusing Grums, who's now a well-known name of an ex-WoW developer who's now big with the whole Gamergate 2 thing. They said that he was sexually assaulted multiple people in his old company and shouldn't be trusted. And there's no proof of that at all. And he's like, could you at least not, slander people? And they're like, well, it would have to be not true for it to be slander. And so, that is a community manager, outwardly antagonizing people in their Discord. I know you have the other woman who is the had essentially the Blizzard response of, "Don't you have a PSN account? Don't you have phones?" It only takes 120 seconds and linking your actual ID or a photo of yourself to get this account. Why are you so upset about it?
There-
It shouldn't be a big deal.
There was a point. There was a point I saw that someone from, what is it? One of the states that require a photo ID in order to make a PSN account made that known to the CEO of Arrowhead, and the CEO was like, "I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm sorry."
So here's the thing: the CEO of Arrowhead has come out, and he seems way more genuine than pretty much anybody else that is affiliated with their company that is public facing. Like, he's come out and been like, "Yeah, this isn't great. Please leave negative reviews. Yeah, we kind of messed up here," because he even admitted that they knew about the linking accounts 6 months before they even released.
Yeah.
Now, to the extent of what they understood about it in its totality, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody trying to make a game is not aware that PS Network is not in these 177 different countries. I would entirely be unsurprised about that, because I didn't know that. I wouldn't be surprised if the video that we're releasing now isn't available in certain countries and us just not knowing about it.
Yeah.
Now, I can give that goodwill. I will say, knowing this ahead of time and not making it more well known, kind of scummy. On top of that, some people have come out and asked some pretty interesting questions, like how far back that they actually knew that this linking thing would be a thing. Like, how far back was their contract with Sony? So they knew about the linking going in 6 months before release. Cool. Should have made it more of a thing at the start. The reason why it wasn't a thing at the start is because the linking validation whatever was melting their servers, and when they already had people melting their servers because everyone wanted to play the game, they shut it off so their servers could work.
Yeah, we went over
That's
this.
Yeah. So it was supposed to be initial, but they had to turn it off so that they can get people in, and now they're trying to turn it back on again, and it's a big kerfuffle, and they're like, "Don't do that, it's gonna have blowback," and Sony's like, "Nope, gotta have it." They're like, "All right." So their contract with Sony for Helldivers 2 started 8 years ago. Just to give context of how long this has been in production. So I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't entirely aware of how deep Sony would delve with this, because Sony could essentially just change the contract in certain areas, kind of at will, and just force the developer to do things. So I want to give them the kind of benefit of the doubt there when it comes to that kind of stuff. That being said, this community manager stuff has got to stop, because you have community managers that are coming out and actively. I think one of them has stated that they are excited for people to be complaining about Helldivers and for them to ban them from the Discord. They're excited for that power, for that to take place, so they can essentially enact superiority on someone else and ban them. Like, the people that are in these positions,
They need to step down or need to be fired.
they need to be removed.
Yes.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. If you have a community manager that is actively antagonistic against your community, that is a problem. Now, I'm having a problem here.
Brain fart.
The issue when it comes to community managers and people getting into these positions is a lot of them are probably not very aware about how high stress this is, because it's not all love and rainbows and my community is gonna love me and it's gonna be great and it's gonna be so easy. No, you're gonna be dealing with the dicks and the assholes that are upset and mad and not always in the right, most of the time not. And so as the front-facing face of the company, you have to be able to keep your emotions out of it and keep your stuff together and not just actively be antagonistic. If that's how you're going to be, you shouldn't be in that position.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of my biggest problems right now is their community managers. There's been no, as far as we're aware, because again, this is the next day. As far as we're aware, nothing's been done. They're still there at the company. They're still doing their thing.
What exactly?
Go ahead.
What did they say? So I can get it pulled up here.
Oh, brother in Christ. You would have had to have me pull this up before we started recording.
Oh.
Because I don't have everything pulled up right away.
Well, let me see if I can find it while you keep going.
But yeah, so my big thing is the community managers are a problem. I don't expect Sony to really stay true to this. I'm sure that they're going to try to find some sort of workaround to try to get people desperately into their Sony ecosystem. Because I didn't think about that the other day, is that not only just metrics, but if they can get people into the store, there's more likely that they'll buy from the store, blah, 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 blah. On top of that, I found out new stuff about scummy things that Sony's trying to patent and do. Not only the biometric stuff that we talked about last time, where they're trying to either determine that you're bullying or also determine that you've got like a raised heart level because you're being bullied, and then report on your behalf without you having to do anything. I've heard about that possibly as well. I've also heard that Sony wants to be able to just constantly record your sessions through the controller to determine if you're being, toxic or racist, and then report you on that. And what's interesting about, I didn't put two and two together the other day, but what's interesting about having to send in your ID or your face, it's not them being like, oh, your account is banned for being a whatever because we don't like you. Usually we would think, oh, well, cheating and whatnot, but we could extend that outwards to, well, you say a comment that we don't agree with, or you took a stance in something that we don't agree with. I foresee it being much further than, oh, well, we're just trying to protect people and keep people from being bullied and cheaters and whatnot. That being said, back to it. Because they have your ID in your face, it's not your account that's being banned. It's you. Specifically, your first name, last name, social security, you are banned entirely. That is dystopian levels of stuff.
Some people are going to say, well, don't they already have all that kind of information? What's the point what's the point, or what's the use of complaining about another thing that has that kind of information? Everyone else already has it, and it flies around like fucking sand in the wind. So what's the point? What do you say to those people?
All those other systems and whatnot that require those things, because again, I play 14. That requires that you have some sort of information there. It's usually not as in-depth as they need a picture of your ID. You don't even necessarily have to use correct names and stuff like that. Obviously, you got to put in credit card information and stuff like that. But it's not like, hey, here's my social security number and whatnot. Secondly, most games you do not need multiple accounts to play. I'm sorry. The fact that you have to have accounts for a lot of these games in the first place is irritating to the nth degree. And I believe that the consumer base is just had it at this point. Because you have a Steam account, you have an Epic account, you have a Squeenix account, you have a Sony account, you have an Xbox account, you have a Microsoft account, you have a X, Y, and Z account, an account for like everything. People are tired of signing up for bajillions of accounts so that you could have your own personal storefront, so you could try to shill out some more garbage.
Absolutely.
That most people do not want. It's just consumer fatigue at this point. You've overplayed your hand. Yeah, sure, everyone else is doing it. Doesn't mean that's right. There's only a few properties that I am willing to give my information out at this point. It's like Steam, Squeenix, Blizzard, because it's grandfathered in at this point. That's things that I'm playing currently that have it that I can think of. I think Warframe might have it specifically.
Going back to what the community manager was talking about, Spitz, you said it was. They said
Spitz is one of them. There's another one.
Yes.
Called Purple something or other.
Let me see.
You go ahead with the Spitz one though.
Spitz said, It's not like this is the first or even the 14th mainstream game to require a third-party account that takes a couple minutes to create. But if it's a deal breaker to have to take 120 seconds out of your day to enter an email password and then forget about it, change your Steam review and make your displeasure known on a platform where it matters.
That response was actively antagonistic and being like, well, this isn't a big deal. It's completely, what is the word for it? To diminish the meaning of concerns of someone else. Invalidate. It's entirely attempting to invalidate the concerns of the consumer at that point.
Well, the first half of it, I can see that, but the second half, that's exactly what people did, and it actually made it made the company backpedal, so...
Yeah, it's really, really frustrating. Sorry, I'm trying to look up the other one in particular, the Grums one.
I have another one from Twinbeard saying, first of all, it's Sony's decision, not ours. Secondly, we don't have all the details about region-related issues yet. We're chasing Sony to get more info.
So, one of the things that Grums, I should probably just pull up Grums on the X. One of the things that he pointed out was one of their community managers is Misty Owo, or OW. They actually just straight up deleted their Twitter account. And apparently most of the community managers for Helldiver seem to have gone protected or done that because they don't want people to dig into their past, given how unprofessional their current community management has been, because on their Twitters and stuff like that is a bunch of like anti-gamer stuff, which tracks. But again, until that kind of gets taken care of with the community manager stuff, I am probably going to leave my negative review. For full disclosure, I was talking about it with my roommate last night. I know my roommate was trying to get a refund. I was going to be doing the same today if they hadn't done anything. I've got other games that I can play. We make the joke. The game's a lot of fun. We make the joke that the game's like crack. I'm sorry, but I'm not addicted to your game. You can get off your high horse and stop claiming that, this is your only option, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just take my option to something else. Like, if this is how you're going to be, we'll just go elsewhere. I'm kind of tired of this. Oh, here we go. This kind of like self-righteousness that's shouldn't be for a product that's being trying to be sold to a consumer. So, like in the Discord, a person named Purple Squidgen said in response to Flash Gordon, who was saying, "You defend a company that'll leave this game in a ditch." And this Purple Squidgen person, which is a community manager on their Discord, was like, somebody who has sexually assaulted many people he has worked with, lost his position as a CEO, this is in regards to Grums, and now is a far-right influencer who had people attack more than one of our CMs and their families. All of that is completely false. They haven't sexually assaulted anyone, and that didn't cause them to lose their position as a CEO. They're also not far-right. They're actually a little bit center-left, as far as what I've seen, as when it comes to Grums. And then had people attack more than one of our CMs, ridiculous. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. When it comes to the internet, are you going to get attacked for pretty much anything that you say? It's going to happen. Could that be influenced by someone saying something and somebody just going off the handle? Yeah, I can say that. There were no calls for violence. There were no implications or anything like that. What irritates me is that people who have not experienced what it is on the internet to be on the internet will be like, well, this person had a disagreement with me, and then one psychopath on the internet came again for me and my family, therefore it must have been directed by them. It's just insane. It's insane behavior. It's an insane train of logic there.
Delusional, sounds like.
Mm-hmm. And so another one of their community managers named Bird, B-U-R-D, on Discord was like, anyone here who's a Grums fan, please out yourself so I can help you out the door. And they're the one that made the slander implies that it was a lie comment. And in their Discord currently, if you cannot type in Grumps. It's a banned word.
Jeez.
And if you come out supporting Grumps, they do actively ban you from the Discord. I'm really frustrated with the community manager stuff because it's clearly not sunshine and rainbows and Arrowhead's doing all of the right things and stuff like that. It's frustrating because the game is great. It's not perfect, but clearly within their own company, there are people that really shouldn't be there, in my perspective, if they're going to be this antagonistic and disparaging towards the community that has actual legitimate concerns.
If they're gonna stir up this much shit and make the game terrible, no, they don't. They're like the consulting firm, Sweet Baby, but that's better saved for another video if we ever get to it.
I wouldn't say that far. I just think these are people that it doesn't seem like they're as in it for the game. They might be in it for the game being the way that they want, but not for the game being a good game, being a good experience.
Pushing agendas.
Yeah, that's what it starts to feel like. And so until that gets fixed, I'm probably gonna leave my negative review up there. I might change it if things just kind of level out and are cool for a while and they figure out the community manager stuff. But man, this has put such a sour taste in my mouth. I don't know. What are your opinions on it? Because again, just like the last time we had talked about this beforehand.
Yeah, it's only been a couple days.
We didn't have anything pulled up.
Yeah, it's only been a couple days, and we're flying by the seat of our pants, as you can clearly tell. But from what we do know is that we successfully did it for now. So, as far as I'm concerned, all of us Helldivers can continue spreading democracy at our leisure without having to subjugate ourselves to the iron fist that is Sony for the time being. But whenever they come back around, I am sure that we will do the same thing. Stand up with our backs straight and look them straight in the eye and say, "Fuck you, Sony. You're not having my credentials."
I am cautiously optimistic that we might have eked out a win here. But I will say, if something like this, because now people are upset, if something like this happens again, I think the game will just be dead, even if they make it right. So, even with as good as the game is, people are tired of this stuff.
Of dealing with shady practices, switcheroos at the last second, even though they did tell us that this was a part of the thing. And some people did forget, but we shouldn't be mandated to link our accounts. It should be an option for bonus perks rather than a mandatory action. That's what it should be.
Yeah. In other news, apparently there's a possibility that there's like a new free cape coming out.
I saw that, and blue armor too.
They're using the review score graph from Steam as a design baseline for this cape.
That's amazing.
Yep. So that very much might be a thing. They're apparently currently talking about what the hell.
I've seen pictures of that, and if they actually do add it to the game, that's going to be my only cape that I wear.
It's same. Man, I will say I'm so distraught. I'm on the fence of being like, do I want to invest my time in this game at this point? Like I'm for real. This is I'm done with dealing with this kind of stuff. And so when companies do this, I'm like, well, do I want to continue this or not? I don't know, dude. It's a fun game. I enjoy playing it with you, but golly, this is frustrating. Is that all we've got for the update?
When it comes to Helldivers, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to drag it on because I do think us dragging it on last time was probably not ideal for watch through.
Well, we weren't dragging it on. There was just a lot of shit to talk about.
Towards the last 10 minutes, we were kind of like floundering on stuff that wasn't
kind of like
entirely...
how we're floundering right now.
Yeah, kind of like what we're doing right now. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm just trying to provide a good experience. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, say bye to everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you for watching. That fun jazz.
Thank you for watching. Like always, like, comment, subscribe if you think this was helpful, or if you learned something new, or if you just like hearing us speak about inane shit while you go to sleep. If there's any more relevant news, we will get back up to. We will post another video as soon as we can. Until then, have a great day. This has been the Deranged Scholar and Purple Tree. Calidor.
See how
Later.
confusing that thing makes things?
Shut up. See you guys later.